Like, were you surprised by the role?
You're putting too much stock into starters and non-starters. Greg the national team's a different beast. It's a group of players, and I think Greg even said that. There's some people out there that said that. That wasn't the B team. It wasn't the A team. Yeah, you're missing some guys that were playing in Europe. I get all that. But the group of players that Greg has at his disposal is growing. It's getting better. Cristian is solidly in that mix. What he does for certain qualifiers, all the qualifiers, the World Cup, I mean, he's got to have some tough decisions on his hands because it's a really good pool of players.
Now let's talk about solid group. Cristian said he did everything to still be available, I guess, for selection tomorrow. I know you don't give away lineups, but do you think he did enough for that to be possible?
Yes.
What about Josh Newton and Amy?
I'll give you a little update on the injury to Josh. So when he was examined after the game, they thought he had a broken rib. It's actually just a very deep bruise. So he will be wearing a flak jacket, or football whatever that is, and he will participate in the match. AB will be participating in the match. Who was the other one you asked me about? Nuhu, no.
And Brad.
Brad will be participating in the match.
I'm trying to think if there's unfortunately, there's a lot. You're at the halfway point. How do you, now that you had a few days from the last match, how do you look at the halfway point?
That is a great question, Jada, because we do. At certain points during the year, the halfway point being one of those focal points, we assess the job that we've done. And I would say we've done a good job. We've overcome a lot of adversity, like massive amounts of adversity, and we're still in first place. I understand that the sting of the last two home games is still there, and that kind of puts a little bit of a shadow on what we've accomplished. But if you look at the body of work in the first 17 games, I think it's been very, very good. So we did some reflection. We are getting players back. We're trying to reboot for the second part of the year. And, we want to come out and, have a good performance on Wednesday and, continue that into Tigres and, keep moving forward.
You guys, when you talk about the halfway and just being in first place still, there's a lot of, depending on who you talk to, that means that the Western Conference is weak, or that means that you're superior coaching, or, where do you put that part of the successful part of your
You mean being in first place in the West?
Yeah,
I think
at the halfway point, considering
Yeah, I think MLS is a hard league. When we were going through the fast start, 13 games unbeaten, there was a lot of talk about, supporter shield and all of those types of things. And those are the things that we kept in the background because we understand that MLS is a long, arduous, hard journey. And so, again, it's kind of a generic answer, but we didn't put a ton of stock, Jada, into, 13 games unbeaten. We knew there was going to be some bumps in the road, and we're just trying to, just keep collecting points wherever we can.
Speaking of kind of midpoint assessments, obviously the kids have gotten a lot of play, probably more than you may have expected. First of all, have they gotten a bit more time than you would have initially thought coming into the year, and how would you kind of grade their overall performance so far?
Probably more just because of the injuries. It's just common sense. Henry does a better job than me of, writing down all their minutes, because when we look at the young players, when we look at Reed, when we look at, Ethan and, Danny's had a little bit more taste of first team, experience, Josh the same, but we want to get them minutes through the first team or through Defiance, and we try and balance everything, shuffle the deck. If he's not going to participate for the first team, then he plays for Defiance, much like they did the last game. And so we try and do that. The assessment of all the young kids is they understand what we want, which is the biggest thing for me. That's what puts a smile on my face. I think tactically they understood the demands of the new formation. I think Reed does it very well. Josh and Danny do it very well. Ethan, is kind of a tweener. Does he play more wing as a sub and he comes on, sparks a game? He understands 4-2-3-1 very well. Can he develop into a right wing back? That's a challenge. That's something that Wade is working on with him. So I think they all get it. And then you look at Obed, Juan, Cody, who else? I'm probably missing a few. They all come here and they do what we expect them to do, which is work hard, soak up the information, and try and apply what they learn. And I think overall the assessment for the young players throughout the organization is a positive grade.
Dallas is obviously a young team as well. They've kind of turned their results around a little bit here recently, getting a road win. So what are you looking forward to seeing against them coming in as they look to get another result of the road?
I'm going to thank Lucci for the performance in Sporting KC. I'm going to thank him for that and then try and get after him a little bit. He's got a talented team. He has a style of play. They don't deviate from the style of play. They're a possession-based team. They like to play out from the back. I asked Danny Leyva about Pepe, because it seems like when he was included as the number 9, they've had a couple of good results. So talented young kid. A team that's got some confidence. Going into Kansas City's hard, 4-0 LA Galaxy. Team that's, going to be up for the game.
How's the mentality of the group been past couple days of training, facing a quick turnaround?
It's been great. It's been great. Always great. Can't complain.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just one. Looking back at the San Jose game, is there anything that stuck out to you having a couple of days to kind of review, what happened?
The balance is always, I said after the game, I don't like giving things away. You always want to make teams earn goals and stuff like that. And I thought that goal, we could have done a better job there on that goal. But the flip side of that and the message to the group was, look, it's a team sport. And we created, 3 at least really clear chances to score, to go 1-0 up. Maybe a couple other half chances if guys kind of would have, progressed the ball in a different fashion going forward up the field. And so half of that is on the attacking play. So you can't just look at that game and say, okay, we lost on a bad goal. But the message is overall, we've got to be better. We've got to do better. And, we'll see if we can't put a complete performance against Dallas on Wednesday.